Benny? Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hilk Empath. I just like doing these little talks on the way I feel about things. Benny! Make good choices. Tata. Oh, that's Tata. Hi, Tata. How doing? Get out of your brother's ear. Go lay down. Go boy, go lay down. Good boy. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. I wasn't sure if I was going to do a talk today or not. It was a hard morning. Well, it was a good morning waking up and around and stuff like that. It was just my body hurt. My body hurt so bad. It just lets me know that I'm like, it's another one of these cycles that you have to resolve vibrational frequencies of your past, and my body was triggered. It was put into a state of recall. I'm not sure if it was ready for, and that was listening to Aquarius Rising Africa. I was listening to Terry's third interview, and sometimes when I hear people's talks, I get recognition, recall, and I'm reminded of stuff. And this Terry woman, she's put a lot of things together. See, that's what all these secret clubs, they're up to no good. When these secret organizations live, and then they're like, we're not going to tell you what we're doing, it's all secret. None of them are up to, they're not doing any secret things for good. And it's reminding and a lot of it, the no good, has to do with drugging and alcohol use. And it's just such a trip. She was talking about the Moose Lodge. We have one of them in Reading. And I grew up on the 40th parallel. And it was right across the street and it was right by the Kiwanis Club. It's all these clubs, all these members of exclusion, right? These secret clubs. And then the thing is like, okay, maybe they start off meaning well, but then then they add alcohol to it. When alcohol is added to it, then they're like, let's do some really weird shit. And that's when things get out of control. And then they blackmail each other, bribe each other, and then, before you know it, slippery slope, we got the world we get right now. Because all those, you think about other groups of inclusion, all the fraternities, sororities, same thing. Same thing. People holding stuff over their head. Wouldn't it be a lot easier if a lot of people just came clean and was like, I did this, what do I need to do to make it right? Be a lot less what we got going on. So when I was listening to that, Terry was talking about her twin sister. Now, when I was a little girl, I don't have a twin. I just had a brother, and he's 2.5 years older than me. And he's Virgo, which is a lot of feminine energy. And I'm Aries, which is a lot of masculine energy. And so, the way I see it, and I'm not going to speak for him, this is just from my perception, my point of view. The way I see it is like I overcompensated in my masculinity because I had terrible things happen to me. I'm one of them. That this is, people could talk about it in clinical terms, but it's just like you got no heart space on what it feels like to go through a situation where your spirit comes up out of your body. Because human beings can be so nasty and so gross in the things that they do to each other. Even being related to people. I always thought that was a crock. It was like a waiver, a free pass for people to be evil and wicked. Because we're related. It's horseshit. Don't let him lick in your ear! Come on, now! Stop! Lay down! So how wonderful there's a world of percentage of the population of people that are so sheltered that you don't know of any freaking terrible thing that has ever happened to another human being, and all this storyline that people talk about. They just say, that doesn't happen, and disprove it. Well, if there's kids in the room or kids listening to this, turn it off because this next part ain't for you. Please. Because the reality of the situation is there's a much bigger percentage of the population that terrible things happen to people like me in hands of people like Terry's family. You know, she talks about how her mom had 100 fosters. Dude, her grandma was a human trafficker, dude. Her grandmother was a human trafficker, and she, like, hasn't made the connection points yet or something. You know, and all the connections with Disneyland and Shriner and all, they're all human they're all in the business of freaking farming people and doing terrible things to human beings. And it's been going on since Cain and Abel. That whole bloodline. So now people are figuring out what they can live with. People can live with doing some heinous shit. But now actually we're not finding out that they can't, really. The reality of it is that they act like it, but once you take away all those escape mechanisms that people use to freaking drown those, you know, memories, to not replay that tape in the head of those terrible things that they've done. Yeah, I just read an article, because I know Omaha's getting a blizzard right now. They're having a blizzard, and I guess the wind is more dangerous than the amount of snow falling. But the fact is, so I, like, every now and again, I'll look up Omaha news. I haven't lived there in 4 years. 4.5, 5 this summer. But I still got a lot of heart space there. I spent 15 years there. Know a lot of people there. It's very connected. It's very connected. Speaking of, I worked at a Jesuit university. And a kid today, they had to close the campus just today because some kid made ricin. Is that what it's called? Is that the poison? Creighton Apartments evacuated after student produced ricin in attempt to harm herself. The Davis Square. I know where Davis Square was. I always, if anybody ever watches my videos that knows Creighton, that went through the student service desk between the years of, what was that? When did I quit? 2013. So 12, 11, and I think I moved over there in 2010 or 11 on the campus side from the hospital side. I was the first unfriendly face you saw. I was the one that would ask you, when's the last time you restarted your machine? And if you would pause, I would just know that to answer my question, that if people don't know how long it's been entirely too long. So I'm not going to even touch it anymore until you go over there and restart it. Creature comforts, man. I had to leave a freaking Adrian Elise chat today. Because I like listening to it. I think it's like versions of her and all of her spirit guides that come in it, because her voice echoes. And it kind of has, and it doesn't have a delay, but actually it's not an echo because it doesn't delay, but it has like it repeats itself, but not in a repeated way. So I was, and people were like complaining about it, and I'm like, you can still hear what she says. Her message is loud and clear. But people are like, it's terribly unpleasant. And I'm just like, dude, hold on to your fucking hats, because you're about to see terribly unpleasant, because there's so many people on this planet that have had terribly unpleasant things happen to them, while this other much grander percentage going on in this sheltered freaking oblivion world of, that only happens in the movies. Yeah, it happens in the movies. You ever hear of a snuff film? Those are movies that they do terrible things to human beings, and it's real. So there's a lot of truth revealed in media, but the people that use it and do it and benefit from it and get off on it, they freaking use it as a defense. It's not real. It's in the. That's not a defense, dude. People use that shit as a defense. So barring any, I hope no kids are in earshot because it's about to get rated R right now. now I remembered this stuff because your body remembers stuff. Your body remembers stuff. Now on a cellular level, I'm not the same person that I was when I was a 10-month-old baby when a man raped me. I'm not on a cellular level. At the same time, on a structural level, I am. And my hip pops because my gait is off. Because it was thrown off. And I thought about that because I was thinking about, like, in IT, when somebody has a problem with their machine, there's usual troubleshooting steps. And usually any mechanical, like a car, there's troubleshooting steps. My car won't start. Well, is there battery? Is there power? You know? And you got to go through these lists of troubleshooting. And so I was thinking about that for people that have had terrible things happen to them and lived to tell the tale, because a lot of people have had terrible things happen to them and have not lived to tell the tale. So I speak for them too. So how many people have that common denominator? Because in this talk that Terry was talking about, she was, now some of her stats, I don't know where she gets. You know, and some studies show, but who's doing the studies? And stuff like that. But she was saying, like, according to her, it was like 1 out of 4 men that were sexually assaulted, sodomized as young men, end up turning out to be pedophiles. And I don't know. I've never seen anything to support or you know. But as a person, the trauma kid side, well, you know, is that a common denominator between us? That are pips? Because, like, I used to exercise a lot because I was always overweight because I would eat my feelings. And I would do those bicycle where you lay on your back and put your hand, lift up your stomach, and you like pedal like a bicycle. There's an exercise that they, you know, like they do on Jane Fonda and stuff, and I do that, and every time I do that, my hip pops. And then it was a talk that I heard. It was like a trick. I was like, oh, that's why my hip pops. Okay, yeah. You know, and then not only that my gait, you can see how wonky my gait. Like, I walk on the back side of my feet, and then I was thinking, do other people? You know, now it's like when I notice people that wear on their shoes, I'm always wondering what happened to them. You know, it's just all this. So I'm always trying to okay. Because I just relate my experience and then see it played out in the world, and then it's like, all right, most people I can't relate to. Most people I don't, because there's most people in this world that are sheltered. And I don't understand those people. I don't understand. Okay, but at the same time, I gotta give people the benefit of the doubt, because I never understood those people that thought that there were two sides of politics. I always only recognize it as a circle of greed. And it's like, all they exist to undo what the last people did. So because they're so busy undoing everything all the time, they're never moving forward. And they always tell us, you know, that they need to get paid more because they work so hard for our own good. While the cracks of society get wider and wider. So, and that's what people are figuring out, is that's what, you know, supposedly the world is supposed to move into a holistic, more, you know, self-healing, meditating. That's what I do. I got to meditate. Well, the first time I tried, like, because I got to lay in the sun, that's what I do, and it fixes my joints, and it helps get that dis-ease out of my energy field. Because when that dis-ease sits in your energy field, that's how disease sets in. And then that's what, you know, the powers that be profit from. The whole world being in a constant state of dis-ease. What would the world be like if people soothed themselves, if they didn't have to go to outside external sources to make themselves feel better about things? I wonder what the world would look like then. But people don't do that, because how are they told? People aren't told to just, that. I mean, I remember saying that, I remember hearing people used to tell me all the time that nobody's going to love me until I learn to love myself. Well, I learned to love myself a long time ago. And then I also learned that people recognize in me things that they recognize in themselves. And so, a lot of times people would hate me. And that just tells me, oh my God, they hate themselves. But they take it out on me. They take it out on me. Treat me bad. Because they don't like themselves. It's happened my whole entire life. It's happened. It's verifiable by story after story after story. Because how people treat me is none of my business. It has all to do with them, not to me. At the same time, how I treat other people is my responsibility. I can't be unkind. I can't talk shit. I can't talk smack. I can't be a jerk anymore. And for a lot of years, I relied on that vibe. I rode that wave, that vibrational frequency of just being a jerk. You know what? If I was a dude, it would have worked for me a lot more, but I'm not a dude. So that just makes me a bitch. If I was a dude, I'd be shrewd and a freaking tycoon and wouldn't be living the way I live now. I mean, I don't live in a bad way now. Actually, I live in I came off a very hard period of time in life. I'm not complaining about how I live now. The way I live now is it's just temporary. That's my only complaint is just I still got a time clock, and I still got to find one other place. And I don't want to move no more, dude. I want to be done, because the freaking world is on the outward. It's gonna turn to shit because the majority of the population of the world has a shit attitude, and so the world is gonna reflect based on their attitude. And mostly people have a bad attitude because they'd rather freaking look online and freaking add a recipe on how to make a toxin to freaking poison them. People are taking the easier, softer way they always have. They're just doing it more now. Because they don't want to realize that they're full spectrum human beings. That it ain't all just love and light. And if you get the message with static, just be freaking glad that you're getting the freaking message and that the power grid hasn't been shut off, It's just like, really? Pick your freaking, whatever. Bye, power. But that's the thing, is not enough people have been made to suffer. Not enough people have gone through hardships. There's been too many creature comforts, and, well, the playing field ain't even going to level. So, when have you ever done anything? When have they? When is any that's what I was talking about, the politicians. It's a circle of greed, but that don't mean that people need to get violent and go after them and freaking break stuff and stuff like that. Because they're only going to subsidize funds to freaking, just more money out of the people's pocket. People that could use it. Because, I don't know, for all these organizations and all these programs and all these non-profits, there sure is a lot of people that are in a lot of bad kind of way. Guess they're not getting through. Guess you can't get through. All this technology ain't working. So, but they've never said anything true. And they've never actually done anything good. Like really good that has benefited the whole. No, it's these pockets of freaking opportunists, rich people, and if you ever talk to a rich person, they don't have the same basis of reality as everybody else, because most of them, unless they came from freaking really poor circumstances or whatever, most of them have never gone without. So people that have never gone without, they don't know what it's like. So they And people just dote over them and coddle them and tell them how wonderful they are and make sure that they and all their friends all get an award. And that everybody's special and all this. And then they're told this and then they believe it, but they're really mediocre minded at most. And their ideas are simple. But then they're put in positions of authority and power because of who their bloodlines are and who they're related to and the schools that they went to. And freaking DT's a Jesuit too. It's all a game. And he'll be done and he'll go on to his other stuff. And he was an actor just like other president, you know, moved from acting into... Because it's the same thing. There's no border between acting in Hollywood and acting in DC. They're all playing a role. And they're all trying to get people to, you know, be distracted from the reality of how things are. And I can't speak for other people. I can only speak for the reality of myself. But I know a lot of people aren't feeling really free right now. I'm getting that vibe. That a lot of people aren't feeling free. And a lot of freaking people that are being all shut up with their families and stuff like that are really deciding that they don't like their families. They don't like the people that they are. I was a weird kid. I was one of those little... I think I was one of those... they said I was autistic, but I had heard autistic. I had a speech impediment. So I heard artistic, but I was autistic. You know, and this was in the 80s. They don't give a shit. They just want to put you in a class with other people and just make sure you don't make too much noise. You know? Just make sure you don't make too much racket, cause too much harm. So it fell on deaf ears, you know. And so I always had... Mom told me from a very young age, if I don't learn emotional control and how to control myself, then I'll probably be part of the system, and then the system will do it for me. And then I look around and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what the system is. The system is designed to be to poke you. The sophisticated is like it to take whatever you got and poke you, and then until you don't got nothing left to give, and then you react. And then they're like, oh, you can't handle things, so we're going to put you in a place or put some, you know, do whatever, institutionally. All these, look how many of these institutions. I saw a story a couple days ago about how all these prison inmates, dude, it is an algorithm away from, if they are in these institutions, do not allow them to get unemployment benefits. These freaking dudes are freaking in prison, freaking racking up unemployment benefits. You know? It's a joke. It's just all a joke. It's all a joke. It's all just stories, you know. I live here in my house with my mom and my dogs. My world is very, very small. Sometimes I look at the news just to get a collective idea of where people's psyche is. Like, are they starting to be better to each other yet? No. More and more news articles about how freaking crimes of passion and stuff like that. Because people don't know how to hang on to their shit. They're losing their shit. People are losing their shit. Because they don't want to learn how to meditate. Isn't it a lot easier to learn how to meditate? Take the time to learn how... Or maybe... Oh, Marge Astrology, she posted she does yoga. And she does it for free over on Zoom. And, see, I don't like doing stuff where, like, okay, where there's going to be a schedule, because if I can't make it, then it's just extra stuff I don't like. If I can't, you know, I don't like getting too, I got a lot of patterns of other people's patterns that I got to live by right now, and so meditation is my solace right now. One day I'll join, maybe. One day I'll join. But she put one of their sessions, Kriya Yoga. That's what she does. But I do a lot of my own breath work and stuff like that. So, Terry's talk was really interesting. I'm getting more of it. And she was talking about her twin sister, who, when she was 7 years old, didn't want to be a girl anymore. She wanted to be a little boy. And it's because she'd seen so many terrible things, been a part of so many things. And I was like, I can relate to that. Because I remember I wanted to be a little boy. I didn't want to be a girl. And it was for the same reason, because I had seen terrible things happen to my mother. Terrible things that happened to me. You know? And I made that association. And lucky for me, my mom had a lot of kind older men that weren't creepy perverts, that were there, so I understood and felt the vibrational frequency of love from non-perverted men. Because I'm thinking, when you got alcohol and stuff like that, drugs, stuff like that, there's more freaking perverted dudes on this planet, and women too, than non. You know? Anyway, I guess that's something that every individual has to answer for themselves. But the thing of it is, so when I was reminded of that today, is that all human beings have the potential to be all these things. You know, that forever, that kid heart space, you know, the sexual beam. And that's what they do, is they turn these kid switches on like they did when I was such a, you know. And then it was like, I remember I was like 3-4 years old. I'm like, hey, she's pretty, you know. And I'm like, it's because they flipped your switch already. And so there's all these people that like went to live for this imposed storyline because somebody manipulated their physical makeup. And it's happened to a lot of people. So a lot of people are having to reprogram and rewire right now. And I'm seeing it happen because, like myself, a lot of other people have gone within. And once you really do start caring about yourself, you're not willing to let other people treat you badly. That's why I had such a hard time in Arizona, is because I had to turn the other cheek. And that's not because I'm a fighter. I'm at least a yeller. I'm at least I'm you know, but just to be like, just to take the shit that somebody's gonna talk. That's not that, you know. That was not easy for, because mom's even said that's not even your personality. I'm like, I know, Mom, but I really didn't have any choice because she already threatened to put us out on the street, you know. So when people threaten stuff like that, you know, I don't know what they're capable of, you know. So what do you do? Just leave them in the past forever and ever. Wish them well, I guess, or not. I don't care. I don't know. Anyway, so. Could higher vibing beings... Oh, I was thinking about that because she was talking about relatives of hers too, and how I think she had an uncle or something that was in Vietnam, and he talked about this alien account. And see, I think it's funny that we're on a rock. We're, you know, on a rock, flying through space, yet still most of the people on this rock identify as everything else. What? How far does it have to be off the Earth's, just if I jump up, does that make me, am I an alien? Yeah, I mean, how, everything else is alien, but the things on this planet. No, we are a petri dish of alien life form. We are all from the stars. There's not a national... I see, and people think like Italians are from Italy, and the Norwegians are from No, it goes beyond that. The Italians are from whatever, I'm not in Italy. If I were there in Italy, I'd talk to them and be like, what constellations are you drawn to? What celestial beings are you, what planets do you align with? We're all related. We're all of our DNA. It is not pinned to this earth. So it is hilarious to me when people recognize, even like octopus. I think octopus are what I think I'm from Sirius B. Which one is, I don't know about all the planets because everybody has different interpretations based on their own recall or their own what they see, So the way I recall things ain't at the same, and that's why people are trying to find their own freak tribe right now, their same frequency. They're trying to find out their like attract like, and I've been trying to find my like attract like. My brother makes fun of me. You've been looking for your people your whole life. And I'm just like, isn't it weird that I can't find them? It's because there's too many of your fucking people. People that work for the state and the city and just freaking collect a paycheck and do a whole bunch of nothing because they're just doing their job. But hey, yeah. It's so stupid, man. So when she was talking about that, she was talking about how he did hypnosis regression and he recalled terrible things that he saw when he was in Vietnam. And then, and that's part of the disassociation that people do. I think that sometimes their spirits, their bodies, go through life experiences that it's like, dude, this is too traumatic. Human beings aren't supposed to do this to other people. And so their spirit goes bloop, right up out of their body. And I think sometimes their freaking soul tribe picks them up, in their same spaceship, ancestral relatives, call them whatever you want. And you hang out up there and just like, dude, aren't those freaking human beings just disgusting to each other? Don't they just do the grossest thing? Because they're void of spirit. Even people with void of spirit have freaking free will. Everybody on this planet has free will, and there's always a choice. I always have a choice. I asked Mom, do you like living with me, Mom? She likes living with me. She doesn't want to not live anyplace else. And if it were my brother's choice, she would have been in a home years ago. So that's one of the reasons why I started doing this tube and coming up with other ways where I can like leave for a couple hours and maybe go make some cash, earn some extra income, And I've had people contribute to my channel just because they like the stuff that I say. Contribute in huge freaking amazing ways because God always takes care of me, and there's always, it might feel like seconds and inches, it's always been right there to make sure that me and Mom stay together with all the dogs and everybody's okay. Yeah. So my shoulders hurt real bad. I think I get my shoulders hurt because of those stupid anthrax vaccines that they gave me, and I'm nauseous. I just got a lot of Ascension symptoms today. I just, it's just energy, and sometimes it's not all smooth and rough and or smooth and beautiful and rad. It can't all be rapture and freaking, That's the thing, is like, there have been periods of time a few years back that I had so much life force kundalini that, like, I was, like, having full body orgasms. It's like, and then once you experience that and you know that exists, it's just like, you can tap into that anytime you want. Any cellular recall with that stuff anytime you want. You don't need nobody else. You don't even need to move. All you gotta So people have to start acting better, or else other people aren't gonna want to hang out with them. And these populations, bullshit. There ain't no 7 billion people on this planet. There's not. Never has been. They make up numbers. When have they ever said anything true? So I hope you folks are feeling okay. I got to put up more stuff. I got my little turtle. I don't think I have my card in here. Oh, there it is. I like this little guy. It's really cool. I looked up the website the other day. Hi, little turtle man. Hello! Standing turtles don't run. It's from a place Pueblo Direct. Authentic Indian arts and crafts. That's the thing. Anything I make, because I'm Indian, I could put authentic Indian arts and crafts on my loot. But the thing is, I'll give my stuff away. Maybe, I don't know. People can pay me what they want for it. So they got Kachina dolls. I got some Kachina dolls in the living room. It broke in the mood, but it still works. Anyway, this is was made by Ronnie Lincasi from the Zuni tribe. So that's from one of my earth angels that watches my talks. And then this is my turtle. Ooh, is that hot? We're just going to blow that out. Yeah, we'll blow that out. I dig this thing. I had it for a long time. And look. Woo! I keep treasures in there. That's the boutonniere to my brother's wedding. I was the best Marge. It's back when he liked me. So, anyway, I think that's about all I got. I'm going to make spend some time with Mom. I meditated for like 30 minutes the first time, and the second time is 54, so she's been by herself quite a bit today, because I was in there doing that. And then, between running the dogs around and stuff like that. But I took the weed whacker out this morning. I'm going to have to get something industrial strength. I'm starting to think that the weeds around here are like no fucking joke. See, that's the thing is, because when you go to a place and it's a place that you've never been before, all the vegetation is new and different. And these weeds are seriously, they scoffed at my little Black & Decker weed whacker I got. How about I finish with the Warrior's Prayer? And then maybe I'll be back later, maybe not. I'm making butter today. The Warrior's Prayer. I am what I am, and having faith in the beauty within me, I develop trust. In softness, I have strength. In silence, I walk with God. In peace, I understand myself in the world. In conflict, I walk away. In detachment, I am free. In respecting all living things, I respect myself. In dedication, I honor the courage within me. In eternity, I have compassion for the nature of all things. In love, I unconditionally accept the evolution of others. In freedom, I have power. In individuality, I express the God force within me. In service, I give of what I become. I am what I am, eternal, immortal, universal, and infinite. And so be it. That's what I got for now. Hope